This and debate it with our panel now. We bring in college football player John Root, who's a commentator on faith, sports, and cultural issues, joining the program today, and California Assemblyman Mike Gatto, former Assemblyman in California. Gentlemen, welcome into the program.
Great to be here.
All right, Mike, where do you stand on this? This is your state of California.
So the California legislature has certainly offered many bills deserving of ridicule over time, but I'm not sure that this is one of them. You know, I always try to approach policymaking with Christian humility, and I'll tell you the two things after reflection that people might be missing here. Number one, what if these injuries to retired NFL players could be avoided by simply starting later? Don't we owe it to them to treat them with compassion? And secondly, all over the country, parents are forbidding their kids from playing football because of injury concerns. So perhaps this bill would ironically result in more kids playing more football for more time. And if that's the case, then this bill should be worth considering.
John, where do you take that? I want to bring up an op-ed in 2018 that says flag football is not actually any safer than tackle football. Some proponents are saying these bans only exacerbate the unsafe conditions because they remove the protective equipment. Where do you stand on the California vote?
Well, first off, no offense, just responding here to the other man on here. It's funny you bring up Christian conviction while being a Democrat. I don't believe that those two things align whatsoever, but I played football in California since I was 9 years old, 9 all the way through 22, 23 years old. And when you talk about medical consensus, it's not there for CTE, for concussions. And while I played football, it got me and so many others out of what could have been bad situations after school. And it teaches you discipline, it teaches you teamwork. And again, if the medical consensus is not there and California says, yeah, we can go ahead and just chop kids' genitals off, we can go ahead and kill kids in the womb. And if they're going to pretend like they're trying to protect kids with this legislation, it's nonsense.
It does sound like a lot of hypocrisy when you frame it that way. And I'll go one step further, Mike, is that, you know, puberty blockers are okay for minors there. And there have been warnings even by, you know, the CDC that they do cause brain swelling in young women. So how can a state allow minors to get puberty blockers and, as John says, keep them from a football game that might just be the one thing keeping them off the streets and out of gangs?
Yeah, look, the law is full of contradictions. We've talked many times on this program about having a nationwide discussion about an age of consent. That's something I personally support. I think that there should be nationwide standards for consenting to certain things. But again, we're talking about a bill here, and beware of people who question other people's faith. Those are usually the charlatans out there. And so I resent this gentleman here, and I use that term loosely, who comes out leading with questioning my faith. I mean, what is that all about?
All right, I'll let John respond to that, though.
Absolutely no sense.
I'll let John respond to that.
We're starting from a position of compassion.
John, what do you say? Are you questioning Mike's faith, or is this, I mean, now we're getting into a spiritual discussion here, I guess.
Yeah, I'm happy to get into a spiritual discussion all day long. If you think the Democrat Party aligns with the true gospel and the true Jesus Christ of the Word of God, you've completely lost it. But if we're going back to the football conversation here, if you're going to be running as a Democrat and you're saying that you're trying to protect kids, there is nothing to say that this banning football will protect kids on the field or off. Okay. So again, too, if you're, that's all I'd say there.
Love thy neighbor, respect others' opinion. There we go. Agree to disagree. That's what we're going to do here, and spread some peace. And obviously, a lot of people just worried about the kids here, and we'll see where the measure goes. And they're worried about the kids on the sporting field, but worried about them with the puberty blockers as well. And I think that's a fair assessment to have. Mike Gatto, John Root, appreciate you both.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks, guys.